first live Facebook Live that we actually scheduled out. So bear with me as I kind of figure out where the messaging are and, how I see everybody and all that. So again, welcome. It's Tuesday the 28th. Again, Amanda with the Counseling Collective. What we're doing here with this series is a 4-week series in an attempt to support you and our community as we're all dealing with this pandemic, this quarantine, so that we can talk about mental health, that we can talk about mental health related in particular with the quarantine and obviously how to maintain good mental health in the mix of all of this. So thank you for joining us for our very first in this series, and you can certainly stay tuned in the future weeks as we're here to help answer specific questions that you may have and or common questions that that we've been hearing a lot about. So let me know that you're here. Let me know you're watching. And we'll see if you can throw out any questions then in the comment section. So, anybody here? I don't see the live stream. Sorry. No. Moderation. Let's see if we can set who can comment. Nope. I don't know. Anybody there? All right, well, we're gonna just wing this because I don't really know. Feel free to send a message. I'd like to hear from you. All right. What I'm going to do, since I don't think I can see messages from you right now. Oh, there. Hi. Good morning, Alicia. Thank you so much for that. That tells me that I'm in the right place and doing the right thing. All right. So anyone else out there, check in. Let us know you're here. Let us know if you have any questions that you'd like me to answer this morning. So one thing that I've been talking with a lot of clients about is kind of the children's response to what's going on. I think you've probably heard the idea of grief, right? And that everybody's kind of grieving the loss of lots of different things lately. But let's talk about how our children in particular have been affected by the pandemic and the quarantining and all of that. So our kids, depending upon their age, might not necessarily understand why they can't go to school, why they can't see their teacher, why they can't see their friends. Kids, especially younger children, they think very concretely. They don't think like you and I do. And so the idea of a virus is really hard for them to understand and to comprehend. And so they just know that they can't see their friends and they don't necessarily really know why. And even, on the phone, FaceTiming, Skyping, Zooming, whatever, none of those. Hi, good morning. Thanks for joining us, Sue. Those are my mom and my sister, by the way. Anyway, so these kids, they're used to interacting face-to-face with people. And so the idea that grandma is on the computer screen or on their phone screen is really strange. And they don't know how to comprehend that. So just realizing that this is all kind of abstract and new to them, it would be really helpful. So in addition to that, kids are being asked to try to do homework online or to sit at their kitchen table and do a packet of homework or to meet with their teachers on the computer or to be submitting electronically. And maybe they've never even done that before. And so this is all just kind of a really new space for them. And so just something to keep in mind. So the idea of loss of friends, loss of school, loss of the education that they were used to with their teacher, that sense of community, all of that stuff are things that the kids are experiencing a loss of. In addition to maybe their sports teams or their sporting events or sleepovers with grandma and grandpa or lunchtime with their aunts and their uncles, playtime with their cousins even maybe. So lots of things that these kids are missing out on, they've lost, and whether they can verbalize it or not, they're certainly They're certainly realizing that. And so that's just something to keep in mind, the way that this quarantine and pandemic in particular is really affecting the kids. The other piece with something I want you to keep in mind for the kids is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So let's talk about our basic needs. Physiologically, we need to know that we're safe. And again, whether you're talking about the quarantine in front of the kids or not, whether they're watching the news and it's on 24/7, in the living room or not, they're realizing that things are different. And so that may then call into question their sense of safety. Not like physical safety, like are we safe in our home necessarily, but kind of more of an ambiguous sense of safety. And so they may then not feel safe and secure like they normally typically do. And so this loss, this grief that these kids are experiencing, in addition to this sense of questioning of their safety, a lot of kids are going to start acting out if they haven't already. They're going to be tearful. They're going to be angry. They're going to be throwing things. And so from a parent's perspective, I just would encourage you to understand that and to be a little bit patient with them as they're dealing with all of this. And then throw into the mix the idea of now they have to learn at home too. And now parents are not just parents, they're the teachers as well, or trying to supplement the teachers, of course. So lots of things to think about there with the way that kids potentially are handling all of this. All right, let's go back to kind of who's here. And if you're here, check in. Let me know you're here. Drop a comment, say hi. If you have a question, let me know, and we'll see if anyone throws out a question here shortly. All right. I don't know if they're delayed or not. So one other thing that I wanted to talk with you guys about was related to sleep. A lot of people I'm seeing, are having a really hard time sleeping. And so wanted to throw out some resources for you. We have lots of resources on our website, discovercounselingcollective.com. We have several blogs on sleeping well, even dealing with COVID, with the pandemic, how to adjust expectations for yourself, how to prepare for the upcoming Mother's Day holiday in light of the quarantine and the stay-at-home order. So sleep is something that a lot of people have been struggling with, this change of their routine, maybe working from home and not, kind of leaving the house and going into the office and then coming home at the end of the day. Kind of our work and our personal lives are maybe getting kind of mishmashed together, and there's not a whole lot of separation there. And so as a result, I think that people's sleep schedules are all off. There's a lot of worry, maybe a lot of uncertainty that we're dealing with. And so lots of different things that maybe are impacting our sleep. We're staying up later than we typically do because we don't have to necessarily wake up and get out the door by 7 a.m. anymore. Kids are staying up later maybe because they don't have to be out the door for school. So lots of different factors here. And so wanted to mention our blogs on sleep and good sleep hygiene. But a couple of just really basic things are, as best you can, create definition between work time and then personal time in the evening. Maybe break between the two, get outside, take a walk, do something different, and try to stick to your same sleep-wake cycle as best as you can. So try to go to bed around the same time, try to wake up at the same time. That'll definitely help you to have a really good night's sleep. Minimize caffeine, minimize snacks in the evenings. Those are big things that I'm noticing people are tending to do more of, is the snacking and the coffee or the sodas later in the evening. So be really aware of those kinds of things. Make sure that your room is cool and dark. Maybe a white noise or a sound machine can certainly help with sleep. There's meditation, mindfulness apps. One is called Slumber, one is called Calm, one's called Headspace. So maybe doing a guided meditation at bedtime might be helpful. So you could give that a try. The other thing is related to screen time. Again, we're kind of inside. There's not a whole lot that we can do. And so I think the tendency is to watch TV a lot more, or watch YouTube a lot more, or be on our phones a lot more, FaceTiming and Zooming and all of that, right? And so just be aware that all of these items of technology emit blue light, and blue light prohibits our brains from making the melatonin that makes us sleepy. And so there's night shift and things that you can do on your phones, filters and stuff. that you can do to take away the blue light, but I don't know how effective those are. So what I would suggest is either making sure that you do those settings, or I actually just bought a pair of blue light blocking glasses that I've been wearing for my sessions. So you could always do that too. Or ideally, you turn off the TV, the phones, and you have some no tech time before bed. Ideally, at least 30 minutes, if not an hour maybe. You come up with some sort of non-tech bedtime routine that is relaxing and calming for you. And so give some thought to that. Are there puzzles or Sudoku that you can do? Can you read? Can you journal? Can you play with the kids in their room? Maybe read to them, and then after you put them to bed, you don't go down and watch TV like you normally do. Any of those kinds of things are definitely going to be helpful for you. Drop a comment if there's something else that is helpful for you to have a really good bedtime routine. I'd be happy to kind of crowdsource here what else is working for you, but those are just a couple of really quick ideas for you. All right, anybody else have any other questions that we can answer for today? We'll wait a second or two here, see if anybody jumps in. All right, maybe not. Well, thank you so much for joining us for our very first Facebook Live here in this 4-week series, supporting you, talking about good mental health and ways to cope with the pandemic and the quarantine that we're all in. We are the Counseling Collective. You can follow us, like us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all of the social media channels. You can also subscribe. We have a monthly newsletter. So go to our website, again, discovercounselingcollective.com. You can subscribe to our monthly newsletter and stay up to date on things that way. But just know that we're here, know that we care. We're here to help. And so please feel free to reach out if you need anything. All right. And be sure to stay tuned for next Facebook Live, Ask Amanda, next Tuesday, again at 9:30, and I'll be answering some more questions then. All right, take care. Good luck. Bye-bye.